Hello and welcome to another episode of What Do You Think, Chris? Well, this one is actually close to my heart because it's in the same building that I bought in when I first came to Australia in '99. So, would I buy a second one in the block? Well, the interesting thing is in the last 20 years, only one other property has been up for sale, and that was about 10 years ago, and we did actually buy it for a client. But this time I was actually terrified because the agents were quoting $900,000 plus. And the reason I was terrified was in 2017, my unit, which was on a higher floor, was valued at $1.2 million from the bank. So I thought, look, if this property sells for $900,000, next time my bank goes for a revaluation, I'm going to be in trouble. But lucky enough for me, the opening bid was $1.1 million, and it finally settled for $1.37 million. There was about 10 or 15 bidders on the day, and I actually posted it to Facebook, I think the day after, which gave some of those details. So, $1.37 million. My one was renovated, whereas this one was completely unrenovated. So I'd add about $80,000 on for that, so about $1.45 million. And then I'd add about another $50,000 or $100,000 because I'm on a higher floor, and also both my lounge and both my bedrooms all face north and face the water and have water views, whereas this one doesn't. So suddenly it was actually a fantastic result for me because a lot of people thought the market crashed after 2017, so my property wouldn't be worth 1.2, maybe it's worth 1.1, but with another comparable sale in the building effectively at 1.55 million, either my property's gone up by 350,000 or someone's paid way over the odds. And look, in reality, I think it's a bit of both. So let's have a look at the property. So as you can see here, fantastic view here. It's going to be not a flat out view from every room for this, but it's going to be basically off the balcony and kind of off the lounge, looking out kind of northeast, and Wedding Cake Island is roughly around here in Coogee. So the block kind of looks okay. It's not the best looking block in the world. Those ones you need to kind of get over. I remember when I saw it 20 years ago, I wasn't overly impressed with the outside. And the lounge there, it all looks pretty clean, but this is actually pretty old. So it's very unrenovated. But as you can see in these photos, it generally comes up okay because it looks beige. Now, this kitchen, I reckon, is probably a good 40 years old. Again, it looks clean on the photos, but you can see the old sinks here. They've actually had new windows in the block, so that's a positive. You don't need to do anything with the windows there. And as you can see, this is a bit of a dining room off the lounge, and the view's actually off this balcony, and this balcony here isn't actually very usable space. Most people just put the washing out there, which is a complete waste of time for something with a beautiful view. With my unit, is actually slightly different configured, and I've actually raised the floor so that it's the same height as the lounge and taken the balcony doors off so you can go straight through. As you can see, this is the main bedroom here, and this bedroom looks into the next door neighbours. It used to be a tennis court there, but then it's just got a new block of units built there, whereas on my one, the comparable is mine all face the ocean as well. You can see the bathroom there, obviously again pretty old, but look, it's neat and clean and you can still rent it out, so it's not too bad. And obviously a lifestyle shot there of Coogee Pavilion and obviously the beach. So look, the views are always going down here. So as you can see, these bedrooms here are facing the street and facing next door neighbours. The bath, the laundry room is pretty old there. But look, they're pretty good units, but you would need to gut it completely for $80,000. So look, I guess what's the message here? Well, the main thing is when you've got good property, it always sells well. And certainly we've got a moving market at the moment. This was sold in December 2019. This is when you're going to get a premium for your property. So even if my property was valued at 1.2 or 1.3, if you get a good day, you get all the people there, lots of competition, people pay over the odds, and that's when you get a great result. So fantastic property. I'm glad that I didn't go and try and buy it for $900,000, and who knows if I could or not. I definitely wanted this to go for a high price because I want the comparable sales so I can revalue my property, pull the equity out, and keep repeating. Well, thanks for joining me, and see you again on another episode of What Do You Think, Chris?